Sorry, give me 1 second, sir. Hold on. Get off my property. Get away from me. I didn't do anything. Get off. Get away from my father's property. I'm not going to talk to you. I don't consent to anything. I'm not going to consent to anything you... Excuse me. Respect me. Get away from my father's property and leave me alone. Well, what do you think? You think he's going to run me over? I wouldn't doubt it if you would. All right. There's nothing to talk about. What do you want to talk about exactly? You want to shoot the shit about nothing? What are you here for, to bother me for?
Listen, she just wants to talk to you.
Go fuck yourself. Let me go home, and that's it. I don't consent to anything, and I'm not going anywhere. I have to use the restroom. Could you at least be courteous enough to let me go inside and use the restroom?
Of course. You can use the bathroom. We just wanted to talk to you. We just want to make sure
we
you
got a
right.
phone call. Listen, can we explain why we're here?
I already explained to officer. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Dispatcher.
Yes, the dispatcher. 393, and I'm live streaming you and I'm recording you. We've already been over this ad nauseum.
John, I've met you
they lied to me about signing consent forms and waiver forms and disclosure forms, and they didn't tell me what I was signing, and that they didn't do any due diligence or deliberation thereof to tell me what was happening.
Is that what made you upset?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I'd be mad too.
Yep.
Okay.
And for years, I've been the victim of heinous and grievous civil liberties and civil rights violations, and the weaponization of psychiatry for doing nothing wrong. And the taxpayers have footed a $5+ million bill for nothing.
Okay. Is that all that happened?
That's it.
Okay.
That's truthful.
So you want to go inside and use the bathroom?
I want to go inside and use the bathroom now and be left alone.
That's fine. Can I just introduce Sophie?
I don't want to talk to you.
You don't have to.
Can I go inside and be left alone?
Can I tell you who
I'm not going anywhere. Can I go inside and be left alone? This is an exercise in futility. Let me go inside and leave me alone.
Let's go inside. Sure, grab your bag.
I'm not consenting.
Come inside.
I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not talking to you. I'm not consenting voluntarily to go anywhere. So let's see what's going to happen this time. Nope, I don't. Nope, and I won't. I'm going to leave here right now. I'm not going to any psychiatric institution. I have to use the restroom.
Okay, you behave and listen. You
no, I'm not.
Respect.
I'm not going. No, I'm not.
Just let him go inside. Go. Okay. John, you have.
Nope, I'm not. If you don't want me here, then I'm gonna. Excuse me, I'm talking. I'm gonna vacate the premises. But excuse me, I'm talking. Give me some respect. I'm not going to a psychiatric institution. I have to use the restroom. You want to look at my big cock too while I'm taking a piss? You fucking faggot. You fucking faggot.
There's no weapons in here, right, sir?
Here, you can pat me down. I know you want to. Come on, big boy.
John, respect, John.
There's no respect to be had.
Go ahead, go to the bathroom. I'll wait out here.
No problem. I know you like looking at big fucking dicks or whatever. You fucking faggot.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Leave me alone.
I am leaving you alone. Go to the bathroom. It's okay. Hey, listen, we're here to help him. That's it. War 11 to 100.
All right. You have the authority to inspect me or whatever else, and I give you permission to, in good faith, to do so. No. Listen, we're going to deal with this as quickly as possible because I don't voluntarily consent to going anywhere. So you do whatever you need to do.
So
Excuse me. We're going to talk about what's a necessity because I'm not going anywhere voluntarily.
Okay.
I'm not.
That's fine. So
I'm not.
We're our worker outside, Sophie. She's with the Connect and Protect program. Okay, she's basically like a social worker. She's making contact with the hospital to speak with the doctor, and it may go the involuntary route. So if it goes that route, are you going to give us a problem, or are we going to be able to walk out?
I want to vacate the premises. I don't want to go anywhere voluntarily.
Well, that's not up to you right now.
Okay, all right.
Okay, because
fine.
According to her,
Good.
okay, that's fine.
We're gonna talk about what's necessary, and that's it.
Okay, just
I'm
don't-
not here to shoot the shit with you about nonsense.
So respect.
Nope, there's nothing to respect. You're a motherfucker.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, we're fine. Just don't do anything stupid. Okay?
That's what you're doing.
No, I'm not doing anything stupid.
We're not gonna talk about anything that's not necessary.
I know you want help, so we're just gonna talk to him for now.
Yes.
We're gonna figure it out.
This hasn't worked for 9+ years, and it never will. You gotta learn. You gotta learn.
Did you get him on call?
Yeah, I was just gonna check and see if it was.
He said he's not voluntarily consenting to anything, so if you wanna.
And I want to speak to the screener personally. I want to spend as much time as possible.
She's basically the same thing
You
as-
stand right there. You let me charge my phone, and I'm gonna live stream you.
That's fine.
Because if it has to go the involuntary route, I want you to be live streamed and recorded. And I want you to give the exact reason why that's particularly the case, if it's supposed to make sense, and if it's just, and if it's reasonable, etc., etc.
That's totally fair.
You're a criminal, and you shouldn't be working as a screener. Your entire career is a scam.
All right, Joe. Charge your phone.
No problem.
Yeah, we'll wait here.
And if my father doesn't want me here, I'm vacating the premises. But I'm not going anywhere voluntarily for doing it wrong. Let me have some water, please. So give me some due respect.
As much water as you want.
He likes water. I remember that last time.
Listen, I'm not interested in your thoughts. We're gonna keep it necessary.
Sure. You keep it necessary.
Get the screener in here. I want to speak to her.
We're getting there. We're working on it.
What's your badge number?
136.
What's your badge number again?
111.
Okay. No problem.
There you go.
No problem.
There you go. Hey John, if you get involuntarily committed by a screener or a doctor, are you gonna walk out or are we gonna have to put our hands on you?
I will.
You'll walk out?
No problem.
Okay.
It's gonna be A-okay, but I'm gonna guarantee you something. That's not going to work to suppress me for everything that's happened to me, for me doing nothing wrong. So you might want to think twice about that. For hurting an innocent man who did nothing wrong. We're not gonna talk about anything necessary. And we already discussed that. And I already told you that.
I'm just asking. I won't ask you any more questions.
We're not gonna discuss anything else. That's it. Oh, you asked me what's necessary? We'll talk about what's necessary.
Sure.
You're not going to get a child molesting paradise. Your son is having his rights severely violated. He loves you and he's being abused. He did nothing wrong. And I'm telling you, they're fleecing you for a scam. We already know the deal on who's bothering me. We already know what they've done to me. You already know what they're doing to me. And you're taking it out on your innocent son that loves you. And I'm telling you that if you're going to think with your dickhead or whatever else, you're not thinking. And I'm warning you, things are going to get much worse. Not because I'm threatening you, because you're literally throwing your life away for people that are going to capture you and torture you and do all of those things. Look, how are you going to establish any credulity with you or anybody else after you know your son's being tortured 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, severely for 9+ years straight? And apparently that's supposed to establish trust. What's your name, miss? Come over here. Come over here so the camera can hear. Come. Don't worry.
Stand right there.
Okay, fine. Then vocalize your name. What's your name?
My name is Sophie. S-O-P-H-I-E.
What's your last name?
Gus, G-U-S-S.
Okay, so Sophagus. And what's the position at St. Clair's?
I work with them.
Okay, so hold on. You work for the police department. Okay, so are you a screener for the police department?
Nope, I'm just a clinical correspondent.
Are you a contractor for the police department?
So I'm a social worker.
where's your practice and who do you work for?
I work with the police. My office is with the police.
So you're a public clinician. So you're a public screener.
I'm not a screener, no.
So you're a public social worker.
She's affiliated with the mental health
Mental
MHA.
Health Association.
Okay, all right. So what do you want to talk about?
I just want to see what's going on. You seem like a little
Okay,
bit
we're
upset.
gonna get down to the brass tacks yet again. So can you take down my website, please, in terms of the evidence that I have of the many years of heinous and grievous civil liberties and civil rights violations and weaponization of psychiatry and gaslighting and abuse of an innocent, and let me speak, give me some respect, abuse of an innocent man, myself, named John Cravel Asheris, who did nothing wrong and who was severely tortured and abused, and the taxpayers of New Jersey for the 5.2, excuse me, I'm talking. You're going to give me respect. A $5.2 million bill over the course of 5 years of heinous and grievous civil liberties and human rights violations. So you can take down my website, take some notations so you can learn something, because there's a lot of information on there that might be privy to you, that might actually help you do something with your life, and say, instead of playing fucking tweedledee, tweedledoo with your thumb taken out of your asshole too.
Or John.
That's not going to work. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want to ask me? You want to ask me about the color of my eyes? Do you want to have a romantic dinner? What do you want?
I just want to see what's going on. What's making you upset?
Okay, so in very succinct terms, the police already called me, the dispatcher, and what happened was, I can even show you the video. They asked me to sign waivers. Excuse me, I'm talking.
Phone call. More important.
July 2nd, 93.
And even if you want me to go, I don't consent. I'm going to vacate the premises. If it's determined that I don't have to go involuntarily as a function of any other particular means thereof or reasoning thereof. So if he doesn't want me here because it's his property, then I'm vacating the premises. But to tell you yet again, I don't voluntarily consent to go anywhere. That's it. All right. So to succinctly summarize for you what happened, I went to the hospital because the clinic, the clinician there to get an injection, because those are the terms and conditions that my father wants to stay here. And he's gaslighting me. And those medications, because of what I've done in terms of epigenetic enhancement and differentiation and complexification, and neurogenically as well too, they don't even do anything to me anymore. Even if you give me a large amount of those particular medications, they're not medications. Those are psychotropic medications that are hurting a lot of innocent people. Excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me. You're going to give me respect and let me finish. They don't do anything. So they asked me previously, about 3 weeks ago, my doctor, alleged doctor, Dr. Kevorkian, whatever, Dr. Mengele, you know him, and my therapist, my counselor, LSW Altair Steffens. They asked me to go there and sign some consent and disclosure and waiver forms. But then today, the reason I got upset, and justifiably so, because whenever you have to sign for something in life where you're going to take liability or responsibility for something, the person asking you to do the signing should have the due diligence, especially if they're in the right state of mind, and that's their job, and and that's their business to do so. And then the first waiver I did not disclose, I did not consent to, because they want to have me personally liable if Medicaid or nobody else pays or any insurance pays for debts that are not my responsibility, for things that I didn't do, and for being innocent and doing nothing wrong. I don't consent to that. And that's a good reason to be upset, because the taxpayers of New Jersey had to foot a $5.2 million bill over the course of the last 5 years just for me for doing nothing wrong, approximately.
No, I would.
And I was homeless. I was institutionalized for a year straight, 6 months straight, and for another 6 months discontinuously for doing nothing wrong. I was held hostage against my will. I was denied food and water. Sometimes they would hurt me and beat me. Sometimes they would hurt and beat other people too. And a lot of us didn't do anything wrong.
I would be angry too. You've been through a lot.
Okay, I succinctly answered your question. You got any more?
I don't know
Okay,
how to answer
so
anything else.
I want to speak to the doctor. I want to speak to who you're consulting with, and I want him on the phone.
You're gonna speak to the doctor.
I will. Do you need to frisk me or anything?
Nope.
Do you need to inspect my bags or anything?
Just moving these out.
Listen. I'll give you permission to inspect my bags and frisk me in good faith.
We'll only do that if you have to leave here.
All right, no
We
problem.
have water bottles in there.
Yeah, there's like some water bottles, like clothes, some nicotine gum, random shit.
Nicotine gum. You smoke?
We're not gonna have a discussion about that. I'm not your friend.
Okay. Perfect.
Are you sending an EMT here?
No, it says the screener's gonna come talk to you, so.
Okay.
Alright?
All right, no problem. What's her name?
Her name is Stella.
Stella what?
I don't know.
Give me her full name. I have the
I
right.
don't know her last name. but
Okay, so when she comes here, I
you
want.
can ask her.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Can you get in closer to show me your identification card, please? All right, that's fine. That's fine. And I already told LSW Stephens, because that's not a necessary part of what the conditions are for my father. I don't want counseling from him because he's going to abuse me. So I already told him. I called him about, what time is it? Like 25 minutes ago? Like 25 minutes ago. I said, listen, do not call me. I have the right to not associate with you. I do not want to associate with you. You're blocked. And then I'm going to call the Mount Olive Police if he harasses me or anybody else does. And I'm going to file a restraining order against you. And it's very simple. And that's it. And I'm angry for a good reason. Because I'm an innocent man who did nothing wrong. I'm being severely abused. I have no criminal record, not even a single misdemeanor. And I've been entirely honest about my life to the entire public for 9+ years. And you know what? I'm getting tortured and abused for doing nothing wrong. And the taxpayers of New Jersey foot a $5.2 million bill over 5 years for nothing. I want to speak to your supervisor, and if you can get me the police chief, I want to speak to him too. I want to speak to your police chief.
He's busy.
All right, but you really like a message to him. What's his name? What's his last name?
Spencer. Same as him.
Are you related?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Because that's how life works.
That's strange. Do you live in this county?
Do I live in this
He
county?
doesn't
Yeah.
have to answer that.
All right, no problem. All right, up to you. What's the ETA for the screener that you got here?
It was 10 minutes when I got off the phone.
Okay, all right.
From Denville.
And I want to speak to as many people as possible before you're going to try and involuntarily detain me.
I can't do that.
Well, listen,
That's
I
not
want to talk to the screener. I want to take it up to the next person, the next person, the next person, the next. That's what I want to do.
You're advocating for yourself. That's fine. That's allowed.
No problem. And I've already reported to the Department of Justice and the Medicaid fraud hotline numerous times, and I have the evidence online. I put it on YouTube and everything else. And then I did an exact itemization of how much monies the people of New Jersey are getting footed for nothing. For heinous and grievous civil liberties and rights violations, the weaponization of psychiatry, the abuse of an innocent man like myself who has not even one single criminal record and or a misdemeanor.
You've done a lot of research.
Yep.
Very cool.
Because I knew that once this started happening to me as a targeted individual, I knew that I would be in the crucible and examined closely because people want to get away with doing evil things, but that's not my responsibility. They're going to have to crucify themselves in their own cross because that's not my problem. And life doesn't work that way. That's not my problem. And not only am I an innocent man, but on my website, I have proof of my extreme utility in pragmatic terms, even though it shouldn't be this way, about how useful I am for society, how intelligent I am, how good I am, how meritocratic I am, how virtuous I am, how good of a man that I am, and how selflessly so I help so many people, especially the disenfranchised and the disabled and the poor and the needy, those who are being severely abused and the homeless too. And also, in terms of my extremely revolutionary and radical research, how that could be utilizable for actual people around the world, millions upon millions of people, so on and so forth. And there's proof of that on my website. And if you think otherwise, then it's going to be a case of,
I believe you.
all right, no problem. Do you want to take it down? Do you want to take it on the website?
I'll go take a look at your
Yes, please do so.
All right. Tell me what it is.
It's JOHNCLASHERAS. All one compound word. John C. Lacheras, period. WORDPRESS. WordPress, one compound word. So, period, WordPress.com. JohnCLacheras.wordpress.com. And it's in the research and development section. It's in numerous sections as well there too, and well substantiated in terms of many specificities as a function thereof of peer review, of satisfying the criterion of even falsifiability thereof with an extreme amount of peer review, so on and so forth. So not just some hogwash, attempt for your ad hoc reproduction and deflection and straw man techniques of trying to call me crazy or whatever else, because that's not going to work, because that doesn't materialize into anything. That has to be substantiated by some proof, and I have a tremendous amount of proof to the contrary. So that gaslighting, that doesn't work in reality.
Absolutely.
I'm a good son to my father. I'm a good man in my community. I've always been a good person growing up, a good kid and a good teenager as well too. And I've been unfortunately afflicted with severe happenstance of extreme abuse and torture and civil liberties and civil rights violations for doing nothing commensurate to any sort of thing that where I would deserve such things. And I'm tired of it because I do good work. I do extremely good work, and I'm an intelligent man. And then I've worked for my living numerous times. I'm a good son to my father and my family too. And I've been betrayed and tortured and abused for doing nothing wrong.
What are you gonna tell me?
No, we're not going to go there.
Take the drugs.
No, but then what about the fact that I have the evidence of the criminality against me? That's not going to work.
You speak very intelligently, so we're not questioning that, okay?
All right, no problem.
And you must be a decent person because your dad let you stay here and live with him. So, and if you weren't a decent person, he wouldn't. So.
Yes, and I've been helping my father as he's aging. He's 65 years old. He's going to be 66 on September 26th, which is his birthday. And you know what? I care about my father and my family, and I do want to take care of them. But I'm the victim of a civil suppression campaign, and I deserve to have a livelihood too and not be homeless and poor and mistreated and abused and tortured and have my rights deprived of me. And then the taxpayers of New Jersey don't deserve to have the same things happen to them and have to foot a $5.2 million bill just for me for doing nothing wrong.
You are right about that.
That's not commensurate to anything that makes sense.
Yeah. Hi. Oh, you are. Okay.
Sure, just read it back to me. Yep, with one arm.
And I apologize for my belligerency. It seems, off the cuff, or it seems strange or remote, but it's only because of the extreme abuse that I'm going through. And I'm a gentleman, and I respect other people's human rights, and I've been severely abused for doing nothing wrong, so I'm not perfect. I apologize for that. But I believe that my anger and fury and my rage and my disappointment and my sadness are commensurate to the abuse that I've gone through for doing nothing wrong.
You had a tough day, right? You had a hard day?
Well,
Issues today?
I've had a hard life for the last 9+ years because I'm being severely abused for doing nothing wrong.
Hard day.
Excuse me, we're not going to go there. If you don't want me here, I'm going to vacate the premises, but I'm not going to a psychiatric institution. Or if you have the right to arrest me, then whatever, then you can go ahead and do that.
No, we're not trying to do that.
All right, no problem.
You haven't done a crime. You're good. You haven't done a crime.
Okay, no problem. There's 3 people watching the live stream.
Do you know them?
There's a man named Classified Career. Says, "Oh my God, John, it's Joe from Kick. Don't let them take you." Well, in terms of real politics, in terms of reality, you'd be stupid to do so because you're just further entrenching yourself in a very bad position where you're not gonna be able to get out of that.
Are they your friends or are they just like online friends of yours?
Yeah, from the application Kick, the Kick messaging application.
Very cool.
You never met them, though.
Excuse me. on YouTube and Twitch. I used to do Twitch for gaming and stuff, but mostly YouTube nowadays for accountability to stop the people who are harassing me and abusing me, to make them stop bothering me, because I didn't even do anything to them and they're abusing me and my family, and they took Isabella Santiago, my girlfriend, hostage, and they severely abused her and her family too, and I'm tired of it. And they don't, not only do they not have the right to, but they're severely overstepping their bounds, even in terms of the illusion and the delusion of power thereof, because they're crazy and they're psychotic and whatever else.
What kind of games you streaming on Twitch?
Well, I've been playing Rome Total War, but that was like back in November, so I have other things to do. I have pragmatic responsibilities, so, and I've already live streamed games before. That's not very interesting to me.
That's fair.
No problem.
Is YouTube your favorite app then?
Well, I guess for like multimedia purposes, listen, we're not going to have a conversation because I'm not your friend. You talk about what's necessary. We already discussed this.
Alright.
Because I don't want to talk to you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you either, and I don't trust you. And I don't want you to be in my father's property, and I don't want to be in anywhere close proximity to you because I don't trust you. Can you give me a bottle of water from my bag, please?
Here?
Yeah, there's nothing in there that's going to poke you or anything else. Yep.
Grab a water for you?
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay. Or you can just give it to me if you don't trust the bag.
Oh,
All right, whatever. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
You must drink over a gallon a day, huh?
I drink 2.25 gallons of water when I'm sedentary. And that's a function of the epigenetic enhancement, differentiation, and complexification thereof, and I have proof of that. And over the past 5 years, in aggregate, as a function of what I've done to my body in terms of taking neurogenic and endogenic enhancing, differentiating, and complexifying compounds, I now consume about 500 plus more kilocalories per day. Yep. But when I'm exercising, I can drink up to about 5 or 6 gallons of water.
It's impressive.
Yep. And I don't have an electrolyte imbalance or a hormonal imbalance. That's not true.
I remember
And then you know what? In the hospital several times, they denied me having even water to drink. And I had to drink from the tap, from the faucet, in the bathroom, because they would deny me water and sometimes even food and clean sanitary premises without any due deliberation or probable cause thereof. And they didn't even test me for an electrolyte balance or hormonal balance or anything else. And they denied me even the ability to even drink water. I got scabies numerous times, and they gave me no antiparasitic medication, and they kept me involuntarily detained, and they abused me.
scabies.
Scabies is a form of microscopic mite that lives in those particular places that are very unsanitary, that have not been cleaned for a long time. Their evolutionary history is based on the evolutionary history of mites. But in psychiatric hospitals and jails, other institutions thereof that are not very sanitary, and there's not enough sanitation or antimicrobial, antiparasitic measures, those scabies they infect human beings, and they burrow under your skin, under the epididymis surface layer of your skin, and they cause you to be extremely itchy, and you scratch yourself. And I even have the wounds on my body to prove that. And if you don't believe me, in Cornerstone Behavioral Health, and presumably even other hospitals, Cornerstone Behavioral Health in Berkeley Heights, Union County, New Jersey, you can find the scabies yourself. The place literally smells like fucking dead mold, and it smells horrible, and it hasn't been cleaned. All of the linens probably still have a ton of feces and urine all over them. Sometimes they would deny me food and water. Sometimes they would unjustly abuse me for doing nothing wrong, even though I didn't do anything wrong. Yep. And listen, I don't want to hurt myself or anybody else. I'm being abused, and I have a commensurate reason to be angry. And you came here unjustly to do something wrong, and you came here unjustly to abuse an innocent man again. But life doesn't work that way, and it didn't work for 9+ years. And we already know the deal about getting down to the brass tacks yet again. I want to go downstairs and relax, and I want to de-stress, and I want to help my father with other responsibilities that I have, because I'm a good son. And then soon I will override this civil suppression campaign. And I did nothing wrong, and you know that I did nothing wrong.
I never said you did anything wrong.
No problem.
We just got called here to check on you.
And the police unprofessionally called me looking for my father, as if they don't know where my father lives, if they don't know what his phone number is, which doesn't make sense because they called him before. So what are you going to call me for?
Well, because you weren't here.
That's all right. All right, no problem.
You still hitting the gym? Last time you were telling me.
I told you we're only going to talk about necessities. I'm not your friend. We're only going to talk about necessities.
No, you're not. Just health is a necessity.
Listen, I don't trust you. Do you understand that? We're only going to talk about what's necessary. I already told them that. And the person in the kick chat, I'm sorry, in the YouTube chat said, they said you committed no crime. If you're not detained, you'd like them to leave. Yeah, I just want you to leave. I want it. And if my father doesn't want me here, he should give me the respect to vacate the premises. And then what he should do is realize that his son is being unjustly abused, and he's not going to gain any benefit out of this. I'm warning you, taking it out on your son is not going to work because your son loves you, and I love you dearly, and I love our family, and I love good people around the world. This is no good, and this is going to lead to no good. There's no proclivities that are going to be enticing or anything else. This is going to lead to extreme evil, and that's what it is. And even if it's different, to the contrary, where they're trying to tell you, oh, we're torturing you and abusing you to help you, how do you establish credibility or credulity with somebody that way? You don't. You don't use somebody to establish credibility. You do that to torture them. You do that to feed off of their suffering. You do that to control them. You do that to be extremely evil and manipulative. And that's not any way you would legitimately establish credibility or authority or trust with anyone. But I still give my dad the fair benefit of the doubt as a good man and as a good Christian to know that what's happening here is wrong and that he doesn't deserve to go through what I've gone through. And I'm taking it for myself and other good people around the world. I'm taking this now instead of being a slave and whatever else so I can prevent more mass chaos and disorder and array.
Is this your family all over here?
We're going to talk about what's necessary. And also, you should ask my father if you have the consent to snoop around his house.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Okay, that's fine. And just in simple terms, I want to go back downstairs and relax because I have other things to deal with today. And this didn't work last November. It didn't work for 5+ years, 9+ years. And it's not going to work for the taxpayers of New Jersey or anybody else because I'm a poor, innocent man. I don't even have the ability to pay for my own health insurance or even take care of myself in terms of overriding the civil suppression campaign, because I've submitted thousands upon thousands upon thousands of applications for jobs in the past 5+ years since I lost my full-time employment, because even my employer pointed a handgun at me and got into a labor dispute with me, and even the Department of Labor of New Jersey for unemployment agreed with me, and they investigated them, and they gave me the unemployment monies, justifiably so, given the actual precedence and capability, authority to do so via the law, where I had the right to do so, and I was accountable, and I only took what monies were entitled to me via the law. And I could work for a job. I could work almost any job, as a matter of fact. But they're suppressing me, and they're torturing me, and they're abusing me, and they hurt my little wife, Isabella, who I call my wife. She's only my girlfriend, but we're not formally married. They hurt her family. They hurt my family. They hurt a bunch of innocent people, even around here, too. And you know what? It's been 5+ years, 9+ years. Hasn't materialized anything.
Is Isabella okay?
No, she's not. And I told you this before. I told the FBI this. She's not.
Where is she?
She's being held hostage in Central California, South Central California. But if
At a hospital or?
No. As a sex slave, as a hostage by Mark Zuckerberg. You know that? Okay, then we're not going to talk about this. You can go ask your supervisors. You can go ask your police chief. You can go ask Papa.
Well, what are you not telling them that Isabella Santiago met her through online? Never
Through
seen
online.
physically that
Listen,
woman.
yeah, but she exists. She's real. And then her father does too. And her father provided me the testimony too. Yep. And he said, you know what? My name's Edelberto Santiago. He said, don't call me anymore because I'm scared of what's going to happen to me. My family was forced to join the Freemasons, the male members of my family. And Isabella is gone. And I had to sell her into sex slavery. And we're being abused too. And we didn't do anything wrong. Jonas Krohn gave me confessions from people who worked at Facebook. I have evidence of the years of wiretapping and hacking, and also the censorship and the blacklisting, and also the civil suppression, and also the shadow banning and everything else. So that's not going to work. That's not going to fly. That's not going to work. That's not going to work with me. In the face of what's actually true, that's not going to work. And shame on you, because you're a good Christian, right? And your son loves you, and you're still taking it out on your son, even though you know differently. Nope, we're not going to go there. We're going to talk about what's necessary. If you don't want me on the premises and they say that I don't have to go to the hospital, I'm vacating the premises. That's it.
Do you have a place to go?
I don't.
Do you have money to?
Nope, I don't.
Okay.
But I'm not going to a hospital. You can call 211. I can go to a shelter. No problem.
Well, in that situation, Joe, we don't call 211. You can call 211.
Okay, no problem. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the.
All right, no problem.
You have a phone, so.
Okay, no problem.
mine, you know.
Oh, no? You
I
watch
got
it?
divorced, last year, maybe 16 months ago, and they left everything behind, that's why.
And they left their dog?
Left the dog.
And I love her. Her name is Riley. I love her a lot. She's a good part of our family. And I take care of her when my father's not here. And my father is working quite a lot. Sometimes he's working locally for many hours a day, 14, 15 hours by law, and wherever the maximum capacity he can work, the periodicity thereof. Sometimes he's working by traveling across the country. And I'm taking care of my responsibilities here. I'm working on myself. I'm educating myself. I'm helping my family and my dog. And I love my dog, Riley. And I missed her when I was institutionalized for months, and then also back in last August to last October, whatever it was, basically for almost an entire month, 3 weeks, until September 23rd, from August 31st to September 23rd, and I have the evidence on my YouTube channel. And I missed my dog Rally, I missed my family, and I was being unjustly abused. I was denied food and water numerous times. I had no safe premises to be in where I couldn't trust people, and then they didn't give me clean linens to even take a shower. They were like soaked in piss and shit and fungus and whatever else. And they even sometimes brought like 30, 40 people to restrain me for doing nothing wrong, even if they didn't have any proof. And they injected me against my will. They forced me to take drugs for weeks upon end, and they involuntarily detained me as a hostage for doing nothing wrong. And this has happened for years upon years on end, and I didn't do anything wrong. And there's the people who are harassing me are still trying to do it against me. And even St. Clair's, they knew they didn't have to call the police. And then I just escorted and vacated the premises, and I didn't do anything wrong. I even have the video on YouTube. They are asking me to sign disclosure and waiver and consent forms, and they don't even have the due diligence or the capacity, the deliberative capacity to even tell me what I'm signing. So of course I have the right to be angry, and I'm entitled to it. And I wasn't threatening them. I wasn't being vicious towards them, and they abused me. They tried to gaslight me yet again, and that's the de facto form of what they're doing. And then it doesn't work because they're still trying to extract money out of Medicaid, torture me, abuse me, deprive me of my rights. Judge Mazzano of Morris County had me detained there at St. Clair's in Denville with no predicated due cause or just reasonable cause or probable cause at all, and he deferred to ad hominem slander and deflecting and gaslighting. And then they didn't even give me a chance to speak or testify. They didn't even cross-examine me, and they were just going to keep me there. And they gave me a ton of medication or whatever that stuff is that I don't, almost like 5, 6, 7 times the recommended dose that even somebody who's a narcotic should take against my will, and they were gonna forcibly inject me every time if I wasn't gonna take it. And then there was no way for me to even like get some books to read, or sometimes even have the ability to call people, even just drink water sometimes and whatever else. And that was just in the past month and a half. Yep. And I fail to understand why I have to go through all of this abuse. It doesn't make sense. In the face of the evidence that exists and the fact that they couldn't suppress me for being an innocent man, I fail to understand why I have to keep getting abused. You don't need to inspect me, but if you want to, I'll give you the ability to do so. And then I don't have any weapons on me, nothing that's gonna poke you, nothing. There's nothing in there either. I don't have a gun. I don't have anything. And if you want to inspect the house, if my father wants you to, you can. Yeah, I don't have any weapons. Nope.
I'm not here to do that.
Yep. Can you call Stella and ask her when she's gonna get here?
Yeah, she's honestly taking longer than I thought.
Well, there's the sinkhole on 80s.
I want to talk to her on the phone. Can I speak to her on the phone?
She'll be here in person, so that's always better
Okay,
to
no
talk to
problem.
somebody in person.
And then after her, I want to go to the next person in the chain. Supervisor, I want to go supervisor, and I want to speak to the doctor. I want to speak to as many people as possible. If you're going to try and force me to go somewhere that I don't have to go involuntarily for doing nothing wrong. So I want to speak to as many people as possible and the administration of that hospital they're on.
No problem. Denville definitely passes the sinkhole, so it's gonna take a little bit.
Just give him this one here. You can finish that one.
Yeah, there's nothing in there that's good. There's nothing. All right, then. Can you give me a full one? Or you can just go into the refrigerator and get me one?
We'll just get you a full one.
Right, no problem. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
I've never seen somebody drink that much water. It's impressive.
We don't have to talk. We don't have to.
I'm not-
Listen,
I'm not-
you.
I'm not
Excuse me. I'm talking. You can speak to him.
I am speaking to him.
No,
I
you're.
just told him.
No, you're talking to me.
No, I was looking at your water.
Okay,
bottles.
we already talked about this. We're gonna talk about what's necessary. Then you can leave my personal private property because you wouldn't like that to happen to you in your house, and then 5+ years, be tortured and abused and have your rights deprived, especially if you didn't do anything wrong. So we're gonna talk about what's necessary. That's it.
Sure.
No problem. And I'm not going to forgive the people who've tortured me. I'm not going to forgive the people who abused me. It's never going to happen. I don't want to be tortured and abused anymore and held hostage in my own body. I didn't do anything. I'm not going to forgive any of them. And if you think that, you're wrong. I'm not going to. I want to see them prosecuted under the full extent of the law for what they did to me. And Isabella Santiago and a bunch of other people too. I want to see them prosecuted under the fullest extent of the law. And by the way, like I told you, if he wants me to vacate the premises and I don't have to go anywhere involuntarily, it's up to him. I'll vacate, but I'm not going anywhere involuntarily concerning psychiatric hospitalization. And that's not going to work because this has been happening for 5+, 9+ years. That's still not going to work in realistic terms. So you might want to double think that and make sure that you're right about doing that. You might want to make sure that that's going to work. You might want to double check and make sure. But if he doesn't want me here, fair game. It's not my property, it says. I'll vacate the premises. But you might want to double check and make sure that that's going to work. Because it hasn't, and it never will. And to reaffirm with you, I want to stay home. I don't want to go anywhere. But if he doesn't want me to be here, then I'll vacate the premises. No problem. And to further reiterate, I can guarantee you I'm not going to forgive the people who severely abuse me. I never will. I guarantee you that. Where's Miss Stella?
So
All right, what's her last name again?
I don't know her last
Can
name.
you call her and ask him?
She doesn't need to call her.
You can, as soon as you meet with her, you'll be able to.
All right, no problem.
Would you agree to meet her at the hospital?
No, I won't. I don't.
Okay, so
No.
only here?
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. You can ask her last name when she's here. But unfortunately, there's traffic everywhere. She said her GPS took her
All right, no
an
problem.
alternative route, and everyone else took the alternative route too.
Okay, no problem.
Is there anything we can do for you while we're waiting here?
You can leave the premises.
Anything else we can do?
You can leave the premises.
Okay.
Yep, and then we've got the person live that I'm speaking to in the chat. He's screen recording this, and he's gonna upload it to YouTube too.
Good.
Yeah, good. I agree. Good.
So we got 3 streamers.
We're talking about what's necessary. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not your friend.
We're not on 134. Good. Can you check the parking lot of the Wild East Sunday building? Got a call from the locked up thing there. Something panic button in the vehicle and requested an officer go there. No further infraction.
And that's not voluntarily on my behalf, then that's not a neurological disorder. They're torturing me via the illusion of propagating that or telling people that I have some neurological disorder. That's a form of spasmodic torticollis. That's extremely improbable, even to people who have been forced to administer a neuroleptic medication, and they're torturing me every single day, 24/7, 365 plus for 9+ years straight. And the probability of spasmodic torticollis is not even like 1 in 100 million, even for regular people, not even 10 million. Not even 1 in 1 million for even people who are forced to take psychiatric gaslighting medication.
Where do you do your research? You have a lot of knowledge.
We're not going to discuss this. Necessary.
Okay.
What's necessary, we'll discuss.
Okay.
Here's where I do my research. Vacate the premises. That's where. Huh? You can do some research in prison. That's where you can do some research. If you know what's good for you, and I'm not threatening you passively aggressively, you should force them to stop bothering me. Because this is not going to materialize into anything good. Not abuse me. It's never going to happen. 100% guarantee it won't. I guarantee you it won't. And if you think differently, you're delusional. It's never going to happen. And they're not going to torture it out of me either. They're going to torture themselves into a worse quagmire. So they should stop bothering me. You've got 6 people in this live stream now.
More people, I would have it.
Listen, we're not gonna. Listen, you're gonna give me respect. Necessary. So whenever I say something, you don't say anything because it's not necessary on your behalf.
I was giving you a compliment.
Excuse me. Thank you. Don't disrespect me.
Not on 134.
Can you give me another bottle of water, please?
May I offer you water too? You wanna drink something?
Thank you.
Let me get
You must go through packages of these again.
yes,
I drink tap water, so no.
yes, that's all right. Please, thank you.
You can leave it right there because I don't trust you.
Okay,
I don't trust you.
there it is.
No problem. I don't trust you. You can. If you're gonna deal with me, you're gonna have to deal with me not aggressively because I don't trust you.
Can you head over and back up to 134?
All they have is a white SUV.
A couple weeks ago, no, maybe last month, right? Month before,
I'm not gonna talk to you. So
yeah. 10 years, yes.
listen. Well, excuse me. As a function of mutual respect, if you're gonna talk to me in terms of what's privy to me, I don't want you to talk to him.
Well, I would love to ask you.
I'm involved in this, so no. I don't give you consent to that. No.
All right, well,
Don't disrespect me. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I'll be on.
Can you get the administration of the hospital on the phone and or the doctor? Can I speak to them now? In the intermediary time?
Why don't you talk to the screener first?
Listen. No, excuse me. I asked you a question. You give me mutual respect, and that's it. It's a yes or no question? Yes or no?
Not at
Okay, then we don't have anything else to talk about.
You can make any phone
Excuse
call
me.
from your
Excuse me.
phone.
We already discussed this.
I'll be on 97. Hold on. Dispatch, as of now, still unable to locate. Network. I'll think of a vehicle description. All they had was that it was a white SUV.
Dispatch, can you call him back and confirm it was at Walgreens parking lot?
I already confirmed it. They named a bunch of other businesses that were in Wildkey.
They're torturing me. You watch. You'll see the induction of the spasmodic torticollis. Not natural. They're torturing me. and I feel it in my anus too, in my legs. I don't have any neurological disorders. They're torturing me, and I have proof that they reverse transcribed that mRNA payload into me. And I can also go to a scientific laboratory and go through a battery of tests to prove that extrinsically in vitro samples, in vivo samples, that they did that to me. In conjunction with concerning the totality of the circumstances thereof, in terms of all of the evidence, I don't deserve to be treated this way.
What are you not telling?
Excuse me. We're not. Excuse me. Respect me. Yes, Joe from Kick. It's not just that I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to have my human rights deprived of me again. I don't want to be abused. I don't want to be tortured. I don't want to be deprived of food and water. I didn't do anything wrong. Just so you know, so you don't gaslight me, I'm live streaming. And my friend Joe from Kick is talking to me. And he's been abused too. He lives in, I believe, Iowa. He's a very good man too. He's a hard worker and smart too. And he's been the victim of civil liberties and civil rights violations too. And he didn't do anything wrong.
There was only one caller. They pushed the SOS button in their car, so further assault and unconscious male on the way.
Excuse me, before Stella comes here, can you escort me to the bathroom in good faith so I can use the restroom, please, so you can urinate? And the door will be open. You can just watch me if you want. Okay, no problem. All right. And also, if you, like I said, if you want to frisk me or anything else, that's fine. I'm sorry. No. Well, I'm not going to show anything obscene, but just as a function of accountability and so on and so forth.
That's fine.
No problem.
Make sure you're not referring.
No, I'm not. Don't worry, that's fine. Excuse me, if you're gonna speak about me, I want to know what you're talking about, and I want to be privy to it.
We're not talking about you.
Okay, thank you. I'm just asking. I have the right to know what you're saying about me, and I need to know what you're talking about.
Better?
Yeah, I'm sure she's excellent. It's just. Yeah, no, I'm saying hopefully all the different outcomes. You know, because I was like, I couldn't believe it. What? Yeah. Happens a lot.
And just to reiterate, just to make sure you know, there's 100% guarantee that I am never, ever going to forgive the people who abuse me. I will not. And they're not going to torture out of me either. That's not going to work either. I'm never, ever going to. You make me nervous. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And it's not because of unreasonable paranoia. It's because of all the abuse that I've been through. I don't trust you.
I think she's scared. Car just pulled up. I'm not sure if it was. Is that her?
Where did the car go?
It went this way. It was like a tan.
And they're torturing me. They're torturing an innocent man. I didn't do anything. They're torturing me. They're abusing me. I didn't deserve this. There's no reason why anybody would deserve anything like that. It's not right. Not commensurate to anything I ever did, so on and so forth.
Not her. Relax. Man.
Can you call Stella, please, and get an ETA when she's gonna arrive?
She told me at 11:45. Oh, wait, she might be there.
Okay, thank you. They're torturing me.
Us?
Do you think I'm talking about you?
I don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Mr. Zuckerberg and his associates.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking.
You don't have to ask me a question like that.
Well,
So
I thought you were.
no. We already discussed necessary. That's it. Good.
Necessary.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. It's understood. Okay. Anything else? Good. Okay. Good. All right. Thank you. No problem. All right. I'm not doing that on purpose. They're torturing me. Sorry, I farted.
You farted?
Yes, I'm human too. I farted. I'm sorry. So if it smells.
It's.
Yeah, on my ketogenic diet, usually it doesn't. I usually don't have any odious fart.
Probably all the water.
No, it's not.
No, it doesn't give you a bellyache.
Nope.
Down, building 40, Youngwood. Never.
Is Miss Stella outside?
I'm not sure.
Can you look outside for me, please?
I think that's her Sophie went to go.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
She was out there, so.
All right, no problem. They're torturing me again. You can't see the other stuff where they're sodomizing me with the action potential impulsivity to my anus and my legs, but they severely do that to me 24/7, 365. And it's been 9+ years of this, but they first injected and reverse transcribed this technology into me on November 15th of 2011. And that's true, and I have evidence that it is. And I'm willing to be tested in a scientific laboratory. And I've said this for years, that's the case. And I have DNA samples going back from when I was a child. Nobody in my family has any psychosis spectrum disorder. There is no way that I could be tortured via the illusion of non-locality any other way in terms of what they had done. I don't deserve to go through this. Nobody does. I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm being severely abused for no good reason. No reason that's justified. No discretionary reason at all either. Doesn't make sense.
Maybe all the drugs.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Give me respect. Thank you. Can you tell them to expedite this because I'm not interested in them shooting the shit. Can you tell them to come in here, please?
They're walking in now.
All right, thank you. Tell them that I want to speak to them imminently, expeditiously. Can you go to that, please?
They're walking in right now.
3, 2, 1. See man.
Hi.
Hello, miss. Please give me your full name.
No, and turn that off. I'm paranoid, and
That-
I don't want
that's
it
not gonna happen.
recorded. Then you're gonna go to the hospital with that conversation.
Why is
okay?
that?
Because it sounds like you're not stable.
Nope.
And you have to have everything recorded, and that's a little too paranoid.
Okay, fine.
Turn it off, and we'll talk woman to man, adults, okay? Please turn it off. We'll talk for 5 minutes.
Okay, and then give me the exact jurisdictional capacity for you to do that, where I cannot record in my house. Why can't I do that?
Because I cannot record, sir. You can record in your house. I can't. I'm a screener, a state certified screener by New Jersey.
Right.
And I cannot be recorded, and I cannot record anything either. It's my boss's
Right, no problem.
thing.
No problem.
I'm sorry about